NoiaMaca presents NoiaMaca VTuber intro. Push Start button. Pulsa el botón Start. Prema el botón Start. Choose a language. Elige un idioma. Tria una llengua. English. Another exhausting day being a man in real life. I always end up getting home at night. Well, now that I'm home, I can continue with my other life that no one knows about. Like any good man, I like to feel bonita every now and then. So finally, that moment of the day has arrived when I can become a virtual anime girl. Then to check if I have any notifications on my social media as a VTuber. I barely have time to log in and catch up on what my virtual friends are up to. What could I do today as a VTuber? Now that I'm watching my VTuber intro video on the internet, I think I could improve it. It needs to be something different. I've got an idea. I'm going to create my own VTuber introduction in a retro video game. There are persons in front of the screen. I invite you to enter my universe and discover my lore. Will you be able to make it to the end? 3, 2, 1. Hi. I'm NoiaMaca and I welcome you to my laboratory. I want to gather all possible information about myself as a VTuber for my introduction. To do that, you'll help me by exploring my lab and collecting all kinds of data by interacting with everything you find. I've made a list of things I'd like to share in this introduction. Press the select button to see what you have discovered and what you haven't. It's so late that right now I'm the only one in the lab. Since there's no one else here and you are on the other side of the screen, I'll let you control my body using the plus to move me around. Press A if you want to interact with something. Oh, strange! When I try to pick up this book, it vanishes between my hands. Valet's office. Library. This is a laboratory's library. Here there are books and magazines of all kinds. This section includes books on various topics. It's a shelf full of magazines about video games. I confess, I was the one who bought all these magazines, and they don't have much to do with the research in this laboratory. It's full of books about clothing styles. I feel love every time I turn a page and see a new clothing design. What clothing style do you like most? One of my favorite styles is Gossip Lolita. I only see magazines on various topics. Here's a gossip magazine. I've never been interested in these things. It's full of books about astronomy and other planets. In this universe, it also mentions that it's possible to open a portal using emotional energy to travel between planets. There are tons of books about cooking. In this section, you'll find books for learning languages and how they help us cognitively. For example, There are studies that show knowing more than one language helps prevent cognitive decline. I'm interested in languages because each one is a unique window into understanding the world around us. I hope to learn many languages someday. In fact, I'd love to do live streams learning a new language with viewers or teaching the language I already know. This shelf is full of books for learning Spanish. This is one of the languages I'm fluent in. Es a tango testa. 3 tristes tigres comencé con un cigarro. These are tigers ate wet in a wet pail. Were you able to pronounce it quickly? This shelf contains some books for learning Catalan. I already know this language. Ah, és a tango triste. Ets a jutges d'un jutjat mengen fetge d'un penjat. The thing jutges from a court is the liver of a hungry man. This tango triste is hard for me to pronounce. Were you able to? This shelf contains many books for learning English. I've been studying this language for years, and sometimes I still struggle to understand native speakers. I hope that one day I'll be completely fluent in it. This shelf contains several books for learning Japanese. I started studying this language a while ago, but I still have a very basic level, something like Neko wa kawaii desu. I enjoyed learning hiragana and katakana, but kanji are difficult for me to learn. On this shelf, there are books in other languages I also love to learn. I used to not have enough time to study them all. This section contains books about one of my passions, psychology. It's packed with books about memory. For example, did you know that our mood can affect how well we remember things? This shelf contains interesting books about behavior. Some of them explain how to modify basic behaviors. Here are more psychology books. This time focuses on the workplace. One of them mentions that there's nothing better for having a productive job than working in a positive, good business environment. A whole shelf dedicated to the different types of love we experience. This really is a very complex and fascinating topic. Some of these books mention the effect of stress or sleep on us. This section contains books about another one of my passions, neuroscience. Here's a book about how our brain releases emotional energy in this universe. The author is something named Hii NoiesMaca. I'm not sure if you know her. There are some books here about how brain damage affects our perception. One of them tells the story of a person who used to see colors, but after a blow to the head, the area of the brain responsible for processing color was injured, and since then they can only see in shades of gray. The story sounds quite sad. This shelf is full of books on anatomy and cellular physiology. At a glance, I only see books about how our brain carries out basic psychological functions from a biological perspective. Some books on this shelf explain how to connect our biological brain to a machine in order to experience psychological realities that feel real. It's a book about my universe. Unlike your universe, in mine, every time someone experiences an emotion, feeling, or attitude, they release emotional energy into the universe. This energy makes the cosmos alive and in motion. I'm in charge of studying this emotional energy. Basement. This is a basement, but it's completely dark. I can feel a lot of nostalgia in the air. I will take care of letting up the basement. Emotional energy! Now there is light. What I just did is transform emotional energy into light to illuminate the basement. This universe is composed of emotional energy. Most living beings feel this energy but can't use it. However, some living beings like me can actively use this energy. It's something that takes a long time to master and requires a lot of training. I can still feel nostalgia, so there is still a lot of emotional energy that could be used. Well, let's move some boxes to see what nostalgic thing we find inside the boxes that are different from the rest. This here is an electricity generator that works with emotional energy. In this way, we can use the electrical devices in the lazy room, among other things. Only someone who masters emotional energy can create and operate this type of machine. Since there is constantly nostalgia here, this means that the emotional energy here is practically unlimited. Up here my GB color has been all this time, and it has the yellow most video game inside it. Capturing monsters with this console was an essential part of my childhood. For now, I left it in the research room to use it later. Let's see what nostalgic thing is inside. Oh, it's my Velo Play 2, and with the Play 2 video game. This is one of my favorite games on that console. This reminds me that I've always loved RPGs, like action RPGs or JRPGs, except SRPGs. I always end up stressed with SRPGs because I feel the battles are too slow. Although in general I like retro games. Now I feel like I'm using this console again, so we can try it out in the lazy room. Violet's room. Welcome to my room. I spent so much time in this laboratory that I haven't gone home in a long while. So I decided to use one of the empty rooms as my personal living space. It's a statue of a purple hair. I have always liked it, this color, as well as any related colors such as indigo and violet. So, since violet is both the name of the violet color in English and the name of a girl in English, I say to use the name Violet as a VTuber name. I can see the reflection of a cute girl. Wait, that's me! Cute girl is said in my native language as NoiaMaca. Since my VTuber model is a cute girl, I say to use those words as my VTuber surname, because I was looking for an original word. The plural form is NoiesMaques, and that's how I like to call my followers, so you can follow me on my social media to become a NoiaMaca, cute girl. By the way, in this universe, all humans look like cute girls. Okay, this was the quickest explanation I could come up with to give coherence to my male points with respect to the feminine appearance of my VTuber model. I have an idea. I'm going to look at myself in the mirror, again, making the V symbol for Violet with my fingers, while smiling. Press any button to return. This is a book with different emojis. Normally, VTubers choose several emojis that best represent them. Their fans also use them to support their favorite VTuber. This is known as the Oshi mark. So let's choose the emojis that best represent me. Choose the first emoji. You have chosen the heart emoji as your first emoji. Choose the second emoji. You have chosen the cute girl emoji as your second emoji. So the violet hair emoji represents my name and the cute girl emoji represents my surname, NoiaMaca in my mother tongue. I like this combination for my Oshi mark. Let's see what's on my PC. Whenever you want to return to my room, press the B button on the desktop screen. This is the program to configure the microphone. Before, I used a synthetic voice, where everything I wanted to say had to be typed first on the keyboard, which took me a lot of time. But I say it's better to use my real voice. I'm a babiniku VTuber, which means I have a male voice in a female avatar. Because of that, any pronoun is fine for me. After all, we are all human beings, and in my case, I don't mind using one pronoun or another. This is my VTuber model. The program I use has predefined expressions triggered by pressing a combination of buttons, so I don't need to use a webcam to express myself. Perhaps you are wondering, why would a guy in real life like me use a female avatar? The answer is simple. I've always been the kind of guy who chooses the female character in video games instead of the male one. And as a VTuber, this was not going to be an exception either. Every time I open this program, I feel like I'm making the dream of many men come true. Becoming an anime girl. One piece of advice I'd give you is that if using a certain VTuber model makes you happy, don't pay attention to the negative comments or might be received from harmful people. The most important thing is that you enjoy expressing yourself with your VTuber model, as long as it's not used to offend others. For example, in my case, there's nothing wrong with using a female avatar while being a man in real life. This is a program I use to do my streams and record my videos. One thing I don't like about this program is that when I update, something always ends up breaking, so I decided to stop updating it. This way I avoid having an update with errors. This is one of my social networks. Social networks are great for interacting with other VTubers outside of streams, as well as for meeting new VTubers. Without a doubt, I've met wonderful people here, but one of the things I'm not interested in about the social networks is constantly seeing news about dramas aimed at gaining new followers and increasing popularity. This image is a drawing I made for a 1-bit art jam. I'm not an expert at drawing, but I like to do streams of drawing and art. This is a program I use to play retro games. I have always liked retro games because they are a bit more difficult than current ones. They don't have DLCs, so you bought the complete experience of the game, and now their pixelated graphics make me feel nostalgic. This is the type of content I usually do in my streams, playing retro games. Do you like retro games? Well, Now let's run a retro game with this program. Look! I'm emulating my own video game inside my own video game. I've never seen this in any other video game. Time to go back to our main game. This is a website where various streams take place. It's ideal for meeting new people and building new friendships. To shout out, I've met wonderful people here. On the other hand, I enjoy doing the streams and making new friends with similar interests. In addition to doing streams, I'm also interested in making other types of content, such as original content, where I share my experiences as a VTuber, or creating tutorials about retro things. I just need time to make it happen. Leisure room. This is a leisure room. It's an ideal place to describe after working hard. It's a football table, although I think I've never played it. In fact, I've never been interested in football. It's a chess board. I've never been good at chess, but I like to learn. But I remember that with the same board, I used to play checkers a lot. In general, I like board games like this. Let's try if the keyblade to game disc still works. Pilot inserts the disc into the player. Error, the disc cannot be read. What? Violet looks at the back of the disc. How is the console going to read it if the disc is completely scratched? Because of things like this, I don't like the disc format for video games. At least the sound of the wave in the Play 2 menu is relaxing. It's a pool table. Too bad I'm very bad at aiming. I have very poor accuracy, and I'm sure that if I play this, the ball will end up on the floor instead of inside the hole. Since I have poor aim, I'm terrible at shooting video games or anything related to aiming. There is food and drinks in the fridge. Someone has locked beer. I have never liked beer. Luckily, there are other kinds of drinks. Research room. This is a research room, the place where I spend most of my time. I research topics related to psychology and neuroscience, so I like to talk about these subjects someday in my streams. It's my beloved RGB color with a yellow mouse video game. This was my first console, so it has important emotional value for me. I spent very good moments with the yellow mouse in this game. Let's see how it is. Violet turns on the console. The console doesn't detect the game. I have a foolproof solution to make it work again. Violet removes the cartridge from the console and blows strongly into the cartridge slot and the console. They say you should not do this, but it has always worked for me. Let's see. Violet turns the console on again. Now it works. I'm excited to see my old saved game. The internal battery has run out. This means that my yellow mouse has completely forgotten me. This makes me sad but happy for having had the chance to spend good moments with a yellow mouse. Deep down, I like to feel this kind of nostalgia. Have you ever lost all your progress in a video game? You shouldn't get angry about it. The important thing is to have a good time playing. In any case, I will use this console when I'm here and have free time. This is a questionnaire from your universe. Questionnaires are an excellent way to understand the subjective world of people, such as their perceptions of things, how they feel, etc. In this case, this questionnaire gathers information about self-esteem and life satisfaction. Let's see what question it has. The questionnaire begins with some personal questions. Let's see. Gender, male or female? I leave this blank because in this universe all humans look like cute girls. Age. I think in my universe my age is not the same as in your universe. Weight. Here I weigh 8 bytes, or more specifically 1.46 kilobytes. Okay, I know that talking about weight isn't very accurate in computing. Let's see what else it does. Height. Any girl knows the answer. It depends on the heels. Another question related to research begin. Wait a moment. There are 69 pages? I think I'll answer them when I have more time. In any case, this is a method I use in my research. It's a model of a brain. One of the things I research is how the brain works and how its activity interacts with emotional energy. Maybe you don't understand much of what I'm saying, so I'm going to give you a basic class in neuroanatomy, and that way you will learn something new. This is me in profile, and now I'm going to place the model in front of me. Here is the model. It just occurred to me to add my own head and the model's head as well. But it adds her own head and the head of the model. Let's continue. Choose one of the parts of the brain, and I'll tell you its several functions. Press the B button whenever you want to return to the laboratory. This is the frontal lobe. Its functions are to control voluntary movements. It is also related to planning, making decisions, and reasoning. In addition, it also regulates behavior and emotions, and participates in language production. I present to you the parietal lobe. Everything related to sensory processing, such as feeling touch, temperature, or pain, happens here. This lobe is also connected to spatial and bodily perception, as well as integrating visual and auditory information. Here is a temporal lobe, and it is essential for communication and memory, since it's mainly responsible for hearing and sound processing, well as memory and object recognition. In addition, it also plays an important role in language comprehension and emotional regulation. This region is known as the occipital lobe, and is the center of conscious vision. As you can imagine, some of its main functions are visual processing, such as color, shape, or movement. It's also responsible for object recognition. This part down here is known as the cerebellum, and it is mainly responsible for coordinating voluntary movements, maintaining balance and posture, as well as controlling muscle tone. This here is just the stick of a model. Here you can see a computer connected to a cup with electrodes. In this way I can study brain activity and its relation to emotional energy. It can also be used for other types of research, such as using the horse slept as an independent variable and brain activity in a specific task as a dependent variable. This is a maze. Mazes are frequently used in the field of experimental psychology. They are mainly used to study learning memory, decision making, or adaptive behavior, among other things. Besides emotional energy, I like to study behavioral and cognitive functions with this type of experiments, as well as studying emotions. Now I just talk of studying the performance in finding the exit of this maze depending on the level of anxiety. Every time I enter this lab, I can't stop thinking about new research. I know. Would you be able to find the exit? This way I can see your skills in memory, decision making, etc. Maybe you'll even find something interesting by just finding the exit. Completing the maze is optional. If at any moment you want to stop exploring the maze, press A, B, select or start to return to the laboratory. Good luck! Do you want to go back to the laboratory? Yes. Event Hall. Here is the event hall, the place where the most important events are announced. This is a special place because it's where an interdimensional hall is found to visit your universe. As you can see, this is an interdimensional hall. A while ago, my universe was in danger and I had to create this interdimensional hall to visit your universe in order to save mine. Anechoic Chamber. Here is the Anechoic Chamber, the greatest place in the laboratory. No matter how much I turn up the volume on these speakers, nothing can be heard. This Anechoic Chamber has wedge-shaped walls that inhibit any sounds. These types of chambers are used for various purposes. In psychology, they are used when one wants to eliminate noise in a research, among other things. This means me that spending too much time in this chamber can cause certain temporary psychological problems, such as disorientation or loss of balance. In my case, I've never liked noisy places, so this place is perfect for me. Only for the first few minutes. It's better to leave this place as soon as possible if we don't want to have some psychological issue. It seems our brain doesn't like absolute silence. Although I wonder if you'd be able to stay in this chamber for more than 1 hour.
Info Violet NoiaMaca. Name origin. Origin of Violet's name. Violet has always liked the color purple, and any color related to it, purple, lilac, violet. Since violet in English is both a color and a woman's name, and Violet's avatar has a feminine appearance, Violet decided to use that name for her VTuber model. As for her surname, NoiaMaca, it means cute girl in Violet's mother tongue. Since Violet's avatar is a cute girl, Violet decided to use NoiaMaca as her surname. In fact, Violet calls her followers NoiesMaques, cute girls in plural. Violet's type. Violet's traits. Violet has a physical appearance of a young girl. Both her eyes and her hair have a shade of purple. One of the things that make Violet unique is that she can use emotional energy at will. Usually, she uses it to do good things. Another peculiarity of Violet is that she has a masculine voice despite having the appearance of a young girl. With regards to her pronouns, the use of any pronoun is correct for Violet. Lore. Violet's lore. In the universe of Violet, every time someone experiences an emotion, feeling, or attitude, they release emotional energy into the universe, which makes the cosmos alive. Most living beings in this universe can feel this emotional energy, but they can't use it. However, some living beings, like Violet, can use this emotional energy at will. Learning to use it requires much time and dedication. Only those who have an excellent mastery of emotional energy can use it to animate objects and assign them functions, such as creating a generator that produces electricity through emotional energy. On one occasion, the universe of Violet was in great danger, but thanks to Violet, an interdimensional hole was created that allowed her universe to be saved from devastation. Another peculiarity of this universe is that all humans physically appear as cute girls. Oshi mark. Violet's Oshi mark. Violet's Oshi mark is made up of a violet-colored hair and a cute girl webbing. The first emoji of Violet, the violet hair, represents her name. The second emoji, the cute girl webbing, represents her surname. Cute girl is equal to NoiaMaca. Profession. Violet's profession. Violet loves conducting psychological experiments to study behavioral and cognitive functions, as well as emotions. But we should add, Violet is passionate about researching how the brain works, as well as its interaction with emotional energy. In fact, the study of emotional energy is her main line of research. To conduct research, Violet uses different methods. One of them is a cap that records brain activity to obtain objective data about psychology and neuroscience. While at other times, Violet uses different methods such as questionnaires to explore the subjective world of people. Stream content. Content of Violet's streams. Violet is known for doing streams playing retro video games. As she says, she perceives this type of video games as more difficult than current ones, and the pixel aesthetic of these games makes her feel nostalgic. One of the contents Violet plans to do in her streams is teaching the languages she already knows to her viewers, or even learning a new language together. Another type of content Violet would like to do in her streams is art, such as making pixel art drawings or drawing her VTuber friends. Moreover, since Violet is passionate about psychology and neuroscience, she would like to talk about these topics in her streams someday. Likes, dislikes. Violet is interested in retro games, RPGs, languages, psychology, neuroscience, person styles, table games, art, making friends, creating original content, creating tutorials, nostalgia. Violet is not interested in SRPGs, gossips, VR, bad timing, shooting video games, football, scratched discs, harmful people, update with errors, dramas, noisy places. Congratulations! You have completed the main game. As a priest, you have earned a trophy that you can see in Violet's office. Thank you very much for playing. I hope you enjoyed getting to know me a little better as a VTuber and as a person. I wish you a happy day. Meanwhile, I will keep being an anime girl. Ooh. Transform! You can keep enjoying this game by collecting the remaining trophies. If you want, you can also find me in your universe on the internet as Violet NoiaMaca or Violet NoiaMaca. See you! I've got everything ready. Ha 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 ha. No one expects my assistance. Visit the InterDimensional hall if you think you can stop me. It seems you can travel to a new place from here. Should I go in? Yes. I finally finished programming everything I wanted to program. Now it's time to take a break. I think I forgot to add a semicolon. It's better to fix it so there are no errors in the game. Who are you? I'm the personification of those errors you have created in this video game. My goal is to fill the entire game with errors to gain total control and eliminate the data that doesn't interest me. I'll create a new world where only I and no one else will exist forever. Wahahahaha. I'll start by capturing you, and then I'll erase you from the game forever, along with the world you have spent months building. Help me by... I should capture you too. No way! Emotional sphere! It can't be. If you want to save your creator, find me on the other side of the PC. Is you there? I won't allow anyone to destroy anyone's world, and much less my 8-bit laboratory. Let's go! Where am I? Violet, you are inside the code of the video game. That thing is corrupting the data. You must find me before it corrupts everything. But be careful, because if that thing attacks you, you'll be expelled from here, and will have to start over. To jump, press A, and to attack, press B. Please, save me. Thank you for saving me, Violet. I can fix the book from here, with the laptop I'm carrying. Give me a moment. Okay, I just spread that thing from here, but it has hidden in a new place. Let's see if I can find it. Ah, I found it. It's in an unused scene in the game. I'm going to eliminate all the connections with the other scenes, so it can't escape. Alright, I've got it cornered. Violet, let's finish this. Let's go. Ah, there it is. Violet, use the A button to attack it. Meanwhile, I'll try to find the origin of its existence. Alright, but why do you have a barrier? To prevent it from attacking me. And do I have to fight alone? I don't have any special attack like you. I'm just a simple man from real life. Don't look at me like that. I'll find the origin of this error and I fix it in a nutshell, okay? Just distract it to give me a little time. What else can I do? Has you finished talking? Because I plan to defeat you, Violet NoiaMaca, and then I'm going to break that barrier and eliminate the one with the laptop. We'll see about that. Ouch. 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 I've already found the error. It's over. It seems I forgot to program this book properly when I added it to the desk in your office. Now I'll delete it forever, so the game will be bug-free. And with this, we save this video game. Violet, person who has played my game, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for rushing the end of the game. I hope you had as much fun as I did programming it from scratch. I look forward to seeing you here or on the internet in real life. See you soon! NoiaMaca VTuber intro stuff created by NoiaMaca, game design by NoiaMaca, programming by NoiaMaca, art and animation by NoiaMaca, music composed by NoiaMaca, wedding by NoiaMaca, wedding as by NoiaMaca, production by NoiaMaca. Localization by NoiaMaca. Special thanks to my YouTuber friends for supporting me, everyone who contributed to the development of GameStudio, Jim and Tail, Takiimikiku, Loumon for creating the emote based using the language speaking skin, GameStudio Central for making useful tutorials and plays, you for playing this game, already received by NoiaMaca, and